you, Wendy. Today's topic, creating project teams to realize sustainability benefits, combines project management methodologies with social and environmental vision to create shared benefits for organizations and stakeholders. And these are our learning objectives for today. Aligning project benefits with business and sustainability goals to deliver shared value, adopting sustainable strategy to drive team engagement, creating diverse teams to deliver innovation, agility, and resilience, and building a culture of inclusivity to support diverse teams, highlighting projects and best practices for embedding sustainability into organizations, and sharing a few case studies and tools to create teams in order to deliver sustainable benefits. So let's get started. Many of you may be familiar with the Sustainable Development Goals, and they are depicted here in a triple bottom line format. And what I mean by that is biosphere, which is planet, society, which is people, and economy, which is profit. And these 17 goals provide a roadmap for businesses, governments, and NGOs to help all of us reach our shared vision by 2030. Biosphere, on the bottom circle, is things like life on land and below water, clean drinking water. Society deals with goals like no poverty, zero hunger, or gender equality. And economy deals with goals like decent work, economic growth, innovation, and infrastructure. And I commonly get a question here about, do you have any evidence that taking a triple bottom line approach actually creates financial value? And the answer is yes. There's a lot of research, but one that I like to cite is some Harvard research that tracked performance of public companies from 1993 to 2010. And a dollar invested in highly sustainable companies was worth $22.60 versus $15.40 for a dollar invested in low sustainability companies. So there's definite economic gain for taking this approach. And one of the examples that we're going to look at today is from Nokia. And this is from their 2016 sustainability report. And they've broken each of these sustainable development goals into their own goals for the year. So the figure depicts Nokia's 2018 priorities with the corresponding SDGs, and they are to improve people's lives with technology, protect the environment, conduct business with integrity, respect their people, and make change happen together. So this is just to give you a sense of how it can be lined up and used to support your organization's goals. I have to remember to use the arrows at the top. Sorry about that. So why is this, all important? I'm sure everyone on the call has heard of the term VUCA. We live in a very volatile, uncertain, changing, and ambiguous world, and the rate of change is accelerating. Technology is part of the acceleration, but so is transparency brought on by social media. In order to thrive, leadership needs to have cross-functional, diverse teams that they can deploy to maximize opportunities and to minimize risks. I've listed several trends here. These are global trends that impact business strategy. And to remain agile and resilient, leadership needs to address these trends. So, for example, resource scarcity, rare earth scarcity in terms of the rare earths that are required to build some of our technology. Water-stressed areas that can lead to political instability. There's been a lot of activity in the South China Sea with land grabs and things like that. Global connectivity, connecting people and technology. That is something that Nokia, in our example, is focusing on. And for them, that's an opportunity to lead to new partnerships and new solutions to build their business. When we talk about climate change, climate volatility, there have been increasing hurricanes, earthquakes, in even in the Americas and around the world. Taiwan just experienced a terrible earthquake. So that relates to disaster preparedness. Is your team connected outside of the office effectively? Do you know what to do if you are on site, and is there a disaster plan? In Houston, employers assisted employees after Harvey in terms of providing resources, money, loans, pay, just to keep them going. So there are a lot of things that need to be considered that maybe even 20 years ago we didn't have to worry about as much. And then changing demographics. The world is changing, the globe is changing. There's a growing middle class in developing countries, and that leads to greater demand for goods and services. And while that creates new opportunities for business, it also creates greater demand on resources. And then lastly, stakeholder requirements. With social media and with access and greater exposure, all organizations need to take their stakeholders seriously and have a serious and regimented and formal stakeholder analysis all the way from the board level through the team level. You can't just work in silos anymore. You really need to be aware of your community environment, your competitive environment, and your environment within your team. So these are all things that are happening and need to be addressed. Continuing with our example from Nokia, how do you figure out what is material to your organization? And in taking this pathway to delivering on shared value, what do we need to focus on to create shared value both for the organization and for the stakeholders? So on the y-axis is the impact of sustainable development goals, and the x-axis is the impact, in this case, on Nokia's business. And the color coding represents Nokia's priorities. So improving lives with technology is in black, protecting the environment is in green, impacting our people is in blue, and conducting business with integrity is in gray. And you can see the upper right-hand quadrant are the most important areas to focus on. And those are connecting people and things, ethical business practice, energy efficiency, and health and safety. And this is the example for Nokia. Your organization may be different, but this is what they are focusing on to help meet their organizational goals and their sustainable development goals. So I wanted to share with you this research that was carried out between 2009 and 2017 by MIT Sloan Management Group and the Boston Consulting Group. And this was a list that they developed from executives and managers in a broad mix of industries. And these are some best practices for developing sustainability within organizations. And from my perspective, I highlighted the ones that I think most directly impact project managers, portfolio managers, and program managers, and how they can contribute to the process of adopting the sustainable development goals within an organization. So those are, embed sustainability within the organization by promoting cross-functional teams, goals, metrics, and KPIs, to innovate across the business model, to demonstrate a clear business case between the sustainable development goals and your organization, to communicate the value proposition to your shareholders and stakeholders, both internally and externally, and to collaborate